Okay, in this video, we are going to determine whether subtracting integers does the order matter. So with this, I'm going to go through the column A and get our answers, column B, get our answers, and then we're going to compare them. So my columns on the example video look different from the columns on the practice video, so just know that we are solving two different problems. I'm going to use a number line to represent my answer. So the first one is 4 minus 6. So I'm going to start off with using a number line. Again, we're going to solve 4 minus 6. I'm going to start at the number 4 on my vertical number line, and then I'm going to subtract 6. So starting at 4. And also, it is important to know from yesterday, we discovered that subtraction is the same thing as adding the opposite. So 4 minus 6 is the same thing as adding negative 6. Okay, so if we have 4 and then we use negative 6, it means that we're decreasing 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That puts us at negative 2. Okay, so 4 minus 6 is negative 2. I'm going to fill that into my table. Okay, the next one on the table listed here is 3 minus negative 2. Now, from the previous lesson, we discovered again that adding the opposite, so adding the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2, so I'm going to do 3 plus 2. So I'm going to start at 3, okay, and then I'm going to add 2 to that. 1, 2, that puts us at 5. Okay, the next one on my table is negative 7 minus 4. Oops. There you go. Negative 7 minus 4. And again, if we add the opposite, it is the same thing as subtraction, which was in the video previous to this one, or the video before this one. Okay, so I'm going to start at negative 7. Let's get my number line up. And negative 4 means I'm going to go down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that puts me at negative 11. Okay, the last one that I have on my column A is negative 4 minus negative 2. So if we think of subtraction as the same thing as adding the opposite, okay, it's going to be negative 4 plus 2. So I'm going to start at negative 4 this time. And then I'm going to add 2 to that. So starting at negative 4 and adding 2, I'm going to go up 2. 1, 2. That puts me at negative 2. Okay, so as I filled in my table, I got the answers of negative 2, 5, negative 11, negative 2. And we're going to see if the order matters. So if you can look between column A and column B, the order has flip-flopped. Instead of 4 minus 6, it switched to 6 minus 4. 3 minus negative 2 minus 3. So I flip-flopped the order, and we're going to see if the order really matters whenever we're subtracting. Okay, so the first one I have is, write them off to the side. 6 minus 4, negative 2 minus 3, 4 minus negative 7, and negative 2 minus negative 4. Okay, so if we remember that subtraction is like adding the opposite, like we did it in the previous video, I'm going to be at negative 6, and then positive 6, and then taking 4 away, or adding negative 4. So I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts me at the number 2. Okay, the next one is negative 2 plus negative 3 if I add the opposite. So I'm going to start at negative 2. And then I'm going to add negative 3, but it was a negative 3, so that means I'm going down 1, 2, 3. That puts me at negative 5. Okay, now I have 4 minus negative 7. Add the opposite. That's really 4 plus 7. I'm going to start at 4. And add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that puts me at a positive 11. Okay, and then now I have negative 2 and then add the opposite, turns it to plus 4. So I'm going to start down here at negative 2. And then we're adding a positive 4. So we're going to go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts me at the number 2. Okay, so after I've used my number lines to get my sums there, or subtracting and adding the opposite here of my integers, I'm going to look back at my table. Okay, now as you notice, the order did flip-flop. Okay, it changed around. I reversed it. And we did happen to get different answers. One was positive, the other was negative, or vice versa. So in today's assignment, you are needing to determine, I used the number line to prove my answers, but you are being asked several questions. So first, like, what did you notice about the expressions, not the answers? So what did you notice about like 4 minus 6? And then 6 minus 4, what happened? That's the first question. And then the second question is asking about if the order matters. So like, what did you notice about the answers? And then the very last question, in conclusion, is asking you, did the order of subtracting your integers matter? And I'm going to leave this here, and then your work and your particular columns that you have to solve, I'm going to leave that there for you to determine that on your own and type in your answer to number 3. I just wanted to give you a visual representation of how to fill out the column and how to use a number line. I prefer my number line vertical, but you are able to use the number line that you like. That is fine. But best of luck to you on completing this assignment today.